A person who, year after year, has held a solid job. The paycheck lands on time. There was even a promotion. The car is new, the apartment is decent, the streaming subscriptions are running, and there's still money for dinner on weekends. Then one day, the laptop dies. Repair cost, $600. That person checks their bank account, and they don't have $600. This isn't a story about someone struggling to get by. According to Federal Reserve survey data, this is the reality for roughly 1 in 2 Americans. A significant share of people earning 6 figures give the exact same answer: I don't have money set aside for an emergency. The question isn't how much these people are earning. The question is, where is that money actually going? America is the largest economy in the world. The most powerful by GDP. And yet, most people living inside that economy spend their entire paycheck every month, or more than that. This isn't just a statistic. It's a pattern that has been systematically built over the last 40 years. And if you understand how this pattern works, you won't just understand America, you'll understand why, in a modern economy, earning and saving have become 2 completely separate things. This video isn't only about America. It's about a system that every growing economy is gradually replicating, including places like India. Let's break this down layer by layer. Layer 1, income growth stalled. Cost growth didn't. Since the 1970s, if you plot American worker productivity, how much value a worker produces, against real wages, pay, adjusted for inflation, on the same graph, something appears that shouldn't be there. Productivity climbs. A steady, consistent line upward. Wages? Nearly flat. Workers are producing more. Companies are earning more profit. But the extra value being created isn't reaching the worker's pocket. Layer 2, the essentials became the most expensive things of all. This isn't simply, people spend too much. Over the last 20 to 25 years, 3 specific categories, housing, healthcare, and education, have risen several times faster than general inflation in America. For the average American, rent or a mortgage, health insurance, and if they have kids, childcare or education, eat up such a large share of income that whatever's left over isn't extra anymore. It's a survival buffer. Which means, money isn't being saved not because people are careless or spending badly. Money isn't being saved because things that used to be basic needs have already reached luxury-level pricing. Layer 3, credit hit the gap. Now here's the real twist. When income stops keeping pace with cost, normally people would shrink their lifestyle to match. But that's not what happened. Because something stepped into the middle, credit. Credit cards, buy now pay later, auto loans, personal loans. Together, these created an illusion that you could afford a lifestyle your actual salary couldn't support. Credit card debt in America today sits above $1.1 trillion. The average interest rate, around 24%. So that $600 laptop repair, if put on a credit card and not paid off in time, can follow someone for years. That gap, between income and lifestyle, is what credit temporarily filled. But credit doesn't fill a gap. It only postpones it. And postponement comes with interest attached. Now here's the part most explainer videos miss entirely. People assume living paycheck to paycheck means not earning enough. But the uncomfortable truth is, this isn't purely an income problem. It's an automatic lifestyle upgrade. There's a specific economic behavior at play called lifestyle inflation. As income rises, expenses rise almost at the same pace. A bigger apartment. A newer car. Better restaurants. Subscriptions that used to feel optional now feel standard. This isn't weakness, it's design. The entire consumer economy, advertising, social media, installment payment plans, buy now pay later buttons, is built to encourage exactly this behavior. The more you earn, the more spending options expand right alongside it. And here's the uncomfortable math: if your income rises from $10,000 to $15,000, but your expenses also climb from $9,500 to $14,800, you're earning 50% more, yet your financial security has barely moved. A $200 buffer becomes a $500 buffer. One accident, one medical bill, one job loss, and you're back to zero. This is a loop where rising income is necessary, but never sufficient. Now compare this to the image we're constantly shown. On social media, financial success looks like a new car, a trip abroad, designer clothes, hustle culture, side income, real estate investments. Everywhere, the message is the same: work hard enough, and freedom follows. The reality is, most of the people displaying that lifestyle are also running on credit. Fake it till you make it isn't just a phrase anymore, it's become a literal economic behavior, one where spending is more visible and more rewarded than saving. And the people who are genuinely financially secure, who put a real portion of their income into investments, who have an emergency fund, who deliberately keep their lifestyle simple, they're generally invisible. Because, "I'm not spending on anything extra," doesn't make for a viral video. That gap, between what's displayed and what's actually happening, is the real reason people can't accurately judge whether their own financial situation is normal or a warning sign. Everyone assumes everyone else is doing better. Now let's take this one level higher. When most people within an entire economy are living paycheck to paycheck, it means that economy stability is resting on the fragility of individual households. It means, if interest rates rise even slightly, or inflation spikes a bit, or the job market softens even marginally, this isn't just, some people will struggle. This ripples through consumer spending, which makes up nearly 70% of America's GDP. In other words, an economy whose growth depends on the spending of people who don't even have a $500 emergency buffer of their own. That's a structurally fragile system, one that looks strong from the outside, but stands on the thin margins of individual households. And this isn't a single-generation problem. When parents are financially stressed, their children's relationship with money gets shaped by that same anxiety, or that same overspending pattern. This becomes a generational cycle, not an individual mistake. So back to that person whose laptop crashed. Their problem wasn't a bad job. Their problem wasn't irresponsibility either. Their problem was that they were living inside a system where income rises, but security doesn't. Where spending has been engineered to be easy, and saving has been made genuinely difficult. And this question isn't limited to America. When any economy, American or Indian, makes credit easily available, keeps lifestyle comparison running non-stop on social media, and lets essentials, housing, healthcare, education, get more expensive faster than income does, then the question stops being, why don't people save money? The question becomes, in a system built like this, was saving ever really possible to begin with?